Right, get right. Yes. यहाँ पे मैम 30 करेंगे आप 30। हेलो हेलो, am I audible? Okay. Hello. Okay. So am I audible to all of you? Yes. Hello. Am I audible? Clear? So our today's topic for discussion is role of role of green chemistry in sustainable development. Now, my dear friends, as we all are aware that today the era in which we are living is actually like we are thinking there are many more pollutions are happening, many more pollutions are occurring. So there is a very less chance of sustainability of your life and the sustainability of the environment also. So, what is the role of green chemistry in sustainable development? So, we are going to see in today's topic, like in today's session, what are the contents that we are going to discuss. That is, very first we'll discuss the introduction, why we are discussing on this topic, that is role of green chemistry in sustainable development. What is green chemistry and what are the principles of green chemistry? Then, what is mean by sustainable development and what are its goals? Why do we need to integrate, or why do we need to integrate green chemistry in sustainable development? That means by incorporating the green chemistry or by incorporating the principles of green chemistry, how can we achieve the sustainable development that we are going to see in today's session? Next, what are the objectives of green and sustainable chemistry according to the United Nations program? And then sustainability at physical level, like how can you promote the sustainability at the physical level, and how can you promote the sustainability at the chemical level? That is, by taking one case study we are going to, I hope so the screen is visible to you, right? Yes. Okay. So very first, all of you know the importance of chemistry in our life. What is the importance of chemistry in our life? That chemistry has played a very important role in improving the quality of our life. How it is improving the quality of our life? It makes our life too easier. It makes our life more comfortable by providing us the different type of products. Like you are using the perfumes. Now you are using the talcum powders, different type of soaps, detergents. These things you are using, and you know that all these things, all these products are actually manufactured by what? By chemicals. So chemicals are one of the utmost important sources by which you can manufacture these products. So this what I have given is a simple example how chemistry is improving the quality of our life. it is improving the quality of our life, but at the same time we should be concerned, or it should be taken into important point that at the same time it is that there are the harmful effects of the chemicals which are on the human life and which are on the environment also, right? So unfortunately, due to the achievement of or like improving the quality of our life or improve the quality of our life, there is our health and global environment are also under threat, because we know that whatever the chemicals that we are using for the welfare of the society, for the welfare of the humankind, at the same time these chemicals are also like they are very much harmful for the human life also and for the environment also, right? Yes or no? So because of because of these chemicals, your environment is going to pollute, or your environment is going to be polluted. So to overcome this, or overcome in the sense to how to like tackle this situation or this problem. So, and we also know that like the population is day by day, the population is increasing, and also the industrial revolution, as it is the revolution of industry. Many industries are set up, and due to the set of many industries, you know that there are many environmental pollutions which are highlighted as the major global problem in the 21st century. So, environmental pollution is one of the major problem of this 21st century or of this era. So to minimize the problem of energy crisis, because obviously we are like facing lot of energy crisis. To minimize the problem of energy crisis, pollution, and to promote the sustainability of life and environment, we have to adapt what? We have to adapt the green chemistry. So when we adapt the green chemistry, we can minimize the problem of energy crisis, pollution, and we can promote the sustainability of human life also and sustainability of the environment also. And which is obviously we need it, because if the environment is sustainable, then we can survive in that particular environment. And if we can survive, we will be healthy. If we are healthy, then only we can perform any type of activity that we want to, right? So let's understand what is meant by green chemistry first. So green chemistry is a vital catalyst for sustainable development, offering innovative solutions that aims to maximize efficiency and minimize hazardous effects on human health and environment. Now, how green chemistry is one of the important catalysts, or how green chemistry is playing important role for the sustainable development. So it gives you the innovative solutions, because in chemistry, what we thought, chemistry is something there is like you can think when the chemistry word comes in front of you, what do you think? You think about the chemical reactions, how that chemical reactions are occurs, or what is the process of that chemical reaction. Whatever the product is forming in that chemical reaction, what is the process by which that product is forming, right? So obviously, while during the process, there are different types of problem. Like we are consuming more energy. There are different type of pollution also. So to overcome this situation, what we can adapt the green chemistry. Now, how green chemistry? Green chemistry, by prioritizing eco-friendly product and processes, it drives innovation, fosters resource efficiency, and support the transition to a greener, more resilient economy, and thus promote sustainability of life and environment. Because so we are going to see the examples also how like so first let us like what is green chemistry? Green chemistry is the chemistry in which whatever the process you are designing for the chemical reaction, or the process by which the chemical products are manufactured or designed, we have to bring some type of modification in that process. Because normally what happens whenever we design any process, like there is very much like suppose you take the reactants, these reactants are combined, these reactants are reacted, and particular product is formed. Along with the formation of the desired product, there is the formation of some byproduct also. But obviously, like suppose we require the desired product only. We doesn't actually want the byproduct, but simultaneously, along with the desired product, byproducts also gets formed. So whatever the byproduct form, it is actually what it is actually waste, or that byproduct it remains in the surrounding, right? it remains in the nature, and it just have the harmful effect on your environment. Okay, so green chemistry is the chemistry in which we are tending or we are moving towards the process which are more eco-friendly, which are more greener in nature, which are more eco-friendly in nature. So that is your green chemistry. Okay, this approach integrates principles from chemistry, so environmental science and engineering, to create more eco-friendly solution across various industries, from pharmaceuticals to agriculture. Because you know that whenever there is the industry, in the industry, wherever there is the chemical products are manufactured, there is the emission, or there is the emission of lot many chemicals, lot many, and these chemicals directly or indirectly affect the human life also and the environment also. So how this process can be, we can modify. So we are going to talk about this. Okay, as you all know that what are the 12 principles of green chemistry? The 12 principles of green chemistry given by Paul Anastas. He is known as the father of green chemistry. The very first principle is that prevention of what? Prevention of waste product. Because whenever any chemical process takes place, at that time there is the formation of waste product also along with your desired product. Along with the desired product, there is the formation of byproduct, or we can say waste product. But what is the principle of green chemistry? Prevention. We should but instead of forming the waste product, and then we have think like then we are think like what to do with this waste product, how to decompose it, or how to handle it. Instead of that type of action, what we can do, we can think about the prevention means what? भाई, वो फॉर्म होना ही नहीं चाहिए वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट जब फॉर्म, आप वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट आप फॉर्म ही मत करो, मतलब आप उसे प्रिवेंट करो. नॉर्मली आप क्या करते हो, इंडस्ट्री में भी क्या होता है, आप अपने डिजायर्ड प्रोडक्ट को फॉर्म करते हो, अलोंग विद द डिजायर्ड प्रोडक्ट आपके जो भी वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म होते हैं, और वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट भी फॉर्म हो जाते हैं, और बाद में आप क्या करते हो, उस वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट को आप क्या करते हो, कहीं ठिकाने लगाते हो. ठिकाने इन द सेंस आप उसको नदी में बहा देते हो, राइट, वो भी वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट होता है. या फिर डायरेक्टली और एयर एटमोस्फियर में जो भी एग्जॉस्ट और गैसेस होते हैं, उस गैसेस को यू कैन डायरेक्टली रिलीज इन द एटमोस्फियर. Or you can think it, whenever you release such chemicals indirectly in the water bodies, in the atmosphere, obviously your aquatic life is also going to affect. Yes or no? एटमोस्फियर में जाएगा, एटमोस्फियर पोल्यूट होगा, उसी एटमोस्फियर को आप क्या करोगे, इनहेल करोगे. उस एटमोस्फियर में जो भी गैसेस है, उस गैसेस को आप इनहेल करोगे, वो आपके लाइफ को क्या करेगा, अफेक्ट करेगा, और आपके लाइफ को अफेक्ट करेगा. यानी कि आपकी सस्टेनेबिलिटी, आपकी सर्वाइवल क्या होगी, डिक्रीज होगी. और आपकी सर्वाइवल डिक्रीज हो रही है, एट द सेम टाइम एनवायरमेंट की भी सस्टेनेबिलिटी क्या हो रही है, एनवायरमेंट की भी सर्वाइवल क्या हो रही है, डिक्रीज हो रही है. सो very first principle is what? Prevention. आपको वेस्ट प्रोडक्ट फॉर्म होने से प्रिवेंट करना है, rather than you will think that पहले फॉर्म हो जाए then I'll treat it. So rather than thinking that type of mindset, or rather than having that type of mindset, what we can have the mindset of prevention of the waste product. Okay, what is the next principle? Next principle is atom economy. Now what is atom economy? Atom economy is the principle in which whatever the reactants you have used in that chemical reaction, or you just try, all the reactants should get convert into the desired product. That means the number of atoms of the reactant which are there, that should all be incorporated in your desired product. There is one formula to calculate the atom economy, and if your atom economy, percentage of atom economy is higher, it indicates that there is the less formation of byproduct or waste product. What is the formula? Can anybody just tell me what is the formula for calculation of the atom economy? Percent atom economy can be calculated as the mass atomic weight of the desired product divided by atomic weight or sum of the atomic weight of all the reactants multiplied by 100. So you can calculate the atom economy, and if your atom economy is higher, it means that your formation of waste product is less. Third is less hazardous chemical synthesis. Less hazardous chemical synthesis means what? Whatever the process you are designing, that process should be less hazardous. It should be very much eco-friendly. It should not harm the environment. It should not harm the workers who are working in the industry, workers who are working in the that company. For example, actually, DDT. How many of you are aware about DDT? DDT is an insecticide, or you can say pesticide, which is used to kill the mosquitoes and all. But at the same time, this DDT has the harmful effect on the human environment, on the environment. So what we have, like, what the scientists or what the researchers they were like finding the alternative method for DDT. They like replace the DDT, and what we can use. What is the solution for other like replacement of this DDT? So the replacement of DDT was you know BSC. BHC. It is one of the butylated BSC. It is one of the polymer actually. You can use that because it's a bit eco-friendly in nature. So always give emphasis on the less hazardous chemical synthesis. The fourth principle is designing safer chemicals. Design the safer chemicals. Safer chemicals. The chemicals which are not going to have any harmful effect on the human also and on the environment also. So our mindset should be we should use the design safer chemicals. Safer chemicals, how will you design the safer chemicals? For example, in most, adipic acid is one of the polymer which is used in the most of the adipic acid is the chemical which is used in the synthesis of many polymers like nylon 66. Such type of polymers are actually synthesized by adipic acid. And for the preparation of adipic acid, mostly we use benzene. And benzene is carcinogenic. Carcinogenic means it's cancer causing. And if benzene is cancer causing, so the industry in which we are using the benzene, which is cancer causing, obviously the workers who are working in that industry, they have the high risk of cancer. So we have to find the alternative over it. What is the other alternative of preparation of adipic acid? So instead of benzene, we can use, along with the benzene, we can use the this reaction can be carried out by microorganism or like enzymatic reaction. So designing safer chemicals. In short, I am discussing all the principles because if I'll keep on discussing complete in depth, it is very long actually. Safer solvent and auxiliaries, whatever the solvents you are using in the chemical reactions, this solvent should be safer. And obviously, say like if you are using the chlorine solvent, any chloride solvent, these are very much harmful. So instead of that, you can go for the supercritical fluids like water, because water is the much safer solvent. Or green solvent, like water is a green solvent. Supercritical fluids like CO2, supercritical CO2, you can use it. Designing for energy efficiency. Design for energy efficiency means what? It means that you just try the process where energy consumption of energy is very less. Because obviously, if you consume the energy very less, it is energy efficient. Because if you consume more energy, because obviously your future generation there will be the lack of energy for your future generation. So you design the process in such a way that it should use the minimum energy. And how can you achieve that? By performing the chemical reactions, by designing the chemical process which can occur at room temperature, which can occur at ambient room temperature and pressure. That means you don't need to acquire the higher temperature and all. Such type of, if you applying higher temperature, if the process is taking at a higher temperature, it's not energy efficient. Because if the process takes place at a higher temperature, obviously it requires a lot of energy, and that energy is not energy efficient. Then what is the next principle? Use of renewable feedstock. Now this principle focus mainly on because most of the time what we are using the fossil fuels. You know that your fossil fuels are limited in nature, right? Petrochemicals, petroleum, these few fossil fuels are limited in nature. So what we should think that whatever your renewable materials means which can be renewed. It might be you have learned in geography, the materials which can be renewed. Such type of material should be used in the chemical process to get the desired product instead of using the petrochemicals, instead of using the fossil fuels, because these are limited in nature. And if you keep on consuming this type of fossil fuels, ultimately there will be the shortage of these these fossil fuels for your future generation, for our future generation, right? So how they will meet their needs, right? So it is also one of the important concern that should be taken into consideration. Then reduce derivatives. Reduce derivatives means process, your chemical process is set up in such a way or designed in such a way that there should be the minimum number of steps. Like within one or two steps, your chemical process should get complete. Because the number of steps you are including, the more number of steps you are going to include, obviously there is a chance that there is the more number of waste product is going to form. And if more waste product is going to form, more mean there is the higher probability that it is going to harm, that waste product is going to harm the environment also and the human life also, right? Next, catalysis. We should use the catalyst to carry out the reactions at the highest speed, designed for degradation, a chemical process designed in such a way that whatever the products are formed, or whatever the products are formed, that products should be, or whatever the reactants are there, that should be degraded in nature. Because if it gets degraded in nature, that means it get disappear. It will not persist in the environment for a long period of time. And if such product will persist in the environment for a long period of time, obviously it is going to harm the environment also and the human life ultimately. So the process should be designed in such a way that it should, whatever the chemical products are formed in by that process, it should get degraded in the environment, or the degradation of the product should happen. Real-time analysis for pollution prevention. Now, what is meant by real-time analysis for pollution prevention? It means that whenever any chemical process is going on, or whenever any chemical reaction is going on, there should be the particular instrument, there should be the particular setup that should monitor continuously the process. Because if there is the chance, because now just take one example. Now, what is the like conflict or war that we going in between India and Pakistan? There should be continuous monitor, because India, if it's yesterday only the news that came that India has all like Pakistan, they have sent some drones for like killing the western borders, but India has success by what, by destroying their drones, right? So we don't have the harmful effect, right? So India, what is doing? India is continuously monitoring the process. So the same you can relate over here also. Real-time analysis for pollution prevention. That means what? Uh, Whatever the process you have designed, that process should be go in such a way that there should be the, if there will be any formation of any harmful product or any harmful step will take place, there should be the continuous monitoring. Before the formation of that harmful product, it should get degraded. Or the process will design in such a way that something should occur, or we should take a step so that that harmful, whatever the chance of that harmful product formation is there, it should get, before formation, it should get degraded or it should get nullified. Inherently safer chemistry for accident prevention. Obviously, we should add up the more efficient, more safer process, because the more safer process, more safer chemical process you design, the more chances of like sustainability is there, or accident prevention is there. Because obviously, if you're designing very hazardous and very dangerous chemical process, there is the more chances of the accident. Accident means, suppose if you use the gases in the chemical process, you know that gases are mostly explosive in nature. they can explode. And if the gases gets exploded in the company or in the industry or in the manufacturing setup, higher risk for the workers who are working over there. Their life can be loosened. Their life is under threat, right? So, keeping in mind, these are the 12 principles of green chemistry. So, keeping in mind all these principles, your chemical process is designed. Because what is the normal traditional way? The traditional or the conventional way of designing the chemical product is that we are just focusing or we are just giving emphasis on the getting the product by whatever means. We just want the product, but this getting the product by conventional means, it has the harmful effect on the environment, it has the harmful effect on the human life. And to overcome or to increase the sustainability of the human life, to increase the sustainability of the environment, what is the best thing? The best thing is that we can integrate the green chemistry. And what is green chemistry? The green chemistry goes on these 12 principles. These are the 12 principles of green chemistry, based on which your green chemistry goes on. Okay. Now we have seen that what is meant by green chemistry and what are the principles of green chemistry. Now our next slide will discuss about what is meant by sustainable development. Can anyone tell me what is meant by sustainable development? Because you have studied this in your class 10th also, and it's a very general topic. Sustainable development is very general concept. So what is meant by sustainable development? Yes. Okay, you are like close to that. Sustainable development is the development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. That includes economically, socially, and environmental dimensions. So, sustainable development is the development in which we are development should take place, but in such a way that whatever the development which should take place, that should not our future generation should not get deprived of their needs. हमारी फ्यूचर जनरेशन उनको जो चीज मिलनी चाहिए वो उससे वंचित, वो उससे डिप्राइव नहीं रहना चाहिए. बिकॉज आप अगर आप ही डेवलपमेंट पर्पज के हिसाब से अगर आप ही सारे रिसोर्सेज आप ही यूज में ला लोगे और सारे रिसोर्स को आप यूज करके अगर आप क्या कर दोगे, खत्म कर दोगे, तो हमारी फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए क्या बचेगा. सो आपको सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट मतलब ऐसी डेवलपमेंट डेवलपमेंट तो करना है, बट ऐसी डेवलपमेंट जिससे आपके भी नीड्स क्या हो जाए, पूरे हो जाए, और एट द सेम टाइम आपकी फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए भी, हमारे फ्यूचर जनरेशन के लिए भी रिसोर्सेज की अवेलेबिलिटी रहे, वो उससे डिप्राइव ना रहे. So it is the development that should meet the needs of the future present generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. Okay. We can achieve the sustainable development by adapting the 12 principles of green chemistry. Because देखो, sustainable development, it focus on economical dimension, social dimension, environmental dimension, and we can achieve the sustainable development by adapting the 12 principles of green chemistry. Now, how can we achieve this? So I'll explain it in the next slide. You know, the United Nations 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, adopted by the United Nations member state in the 2015, it provides a framework for achieving the sustainable development through 17 sustainable development goals that is called as the SDGs. SDG means sustainable development goal. There are 17 sustainable development goal which is provided by the or United Nation member in 2015, and we are trying to achieve these sustainable goals or sustainable development goals by 2030. And what are these 17 sustainable development goals? The 17 sustainable development goals, and these goals obviously it is going to transfer our world. And these goals are, the very first goal, as you see, that no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, decent work and economic growth, industry, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities, sustainable cities and communities, responsible consumption and production, climate action, life below water, life on land, peace, justice, and strong institutions, partnership for the goals. And these are the goals of these are the 17 sustainable development goals, which is obviously it is going to transfer our world. If we achieve, and we are like United Nations has taken into consideration that by 2030 we have to adapt, or we have to achieve these goals. But it's not possible by you, by me only. If we all, the whole world globally, if we'll come together in changing our like in changing the processes, in achieving this, then only we can achieve it. Otherwise it's very difficult. But yes, if one start, all can start. Now, what is the linkage of green chemistry and sustainable? Now I have explained you two concepts. What is that? The very first concept that I have explained you is that what is green chemistry, and what is green chemistry, and what are the principles of green chemistry. The second concept that we have seen, that what is meant by sustainable development, and what are the goals of sustainable development, right? In short, I'll say that green chemistry is the chemistry in which we design the chemical process which are eco-friendly, which does not pollute the environment, which produces the product which are eco-friendly in nature, which does not harm the human health, which does not harm the environment. That means green chemistry is the chemistry in which we design the chemical reactions which are eco-friendly in nature, right? And this we can achieve by adapting the 12 principles. This is green chemistry. Now, what is on the other hand? What is sustainable development? Sustainable development is a development that should meet the needs of the present generation without compromising the need of the future generation. Right? Development तो होनी चाहिए, but future generation should not get deprived of their resources. So how do green chemistry, or how green chemistry is integrated in sustainable development, or how why do we need to why do we need green chemistry in sustainable development? Let us see on this topic. Because by green chemistry, we know that reduction of hazardous substances. Because green chemistry focus on what? Green chemistry focuses on hazard. There should be no formation of hazardous, dangerous substances. So green chemistry minimizes or eliminates the uses of toxic chemicals, reducing harm to the environment and human health. And ultimately, if you reduce the harm to the environment, if the human health, there is the reduction. There should be if there is no formation of toxic chemicals in the environment, ultimately our sustainability will increase. And if our sustainability increase, ultimately we can achieve the sustainable development goal. Because one of the goal of sustainable development is that you can see in the last slide. What is the one of the goal? Good health and well-being. Good health and well-being, goal number 3. So good health and well-being is achieved by that. Okay. Resource conservation. Resource conservation, obviously, in green chemistry, what we have seen, we have to use the renewable feedstock. That means we have to use in our process, we have to give emphasis on the process where we use the renewable material or renewable resources, agriculture product or biomass product. Such type of things should be get into included for designing of the chemical products. And ultimately, if you are using renewable products or renewable materials or renewable substances, renewable resources, ultimately there will be the what? There will be no energy crisis also, and there will be no lack of resources for our future generation. And if there will be no lack of resources for our future generation, there will be the sustainable development can be achieved. So it optimizes the use of raw material, energy, and water, reducing waste generation and promoting efficiency throughout the product life cycle. Energy efficiency, green chemistry technique, as we have studied in one of the principle of green chemistry. What was one of the principle? That minimum energy should be consumed while designing the chemical process. And if minimum energy will be consumed, just see the goal number. Uh, what is that? Goal number 7. Affordable and clean energy. If minimum energy will be consumed, we can we can achieve the goal number 7, that is, affordable and clean energy. Affordable and clean energy. If minimum energy will be consumed, we can go we can we can achieve the goal number 7, that is, affordable and clean energy. If minimum energy will be consumed, we can go we can think we can achieve the goal number 7, that is, affordable and clean energy. So green chemistry technique prioritize process that requires less energy by using renewable energy sources and employing catalysts to lower reaction temperature. Improved safety. Obviously, we have seen in the principle of green chemistry, there should be the real-time analysis, accident prevention while designing while the chemical process is taking place. And if there will be the accident prevention, you can think about the which principle or which the goal of sustainable development, that is sustainable cities and sustainable communities. Okay, by designing safer chemicals and process, green chemistry reduces the risk of accident, exposure to harmful substances, adverse health effects for workers and communities too. Promotion of renewable feedstock, as I just discussed this point now, promote the use of renewable resources like biomass and agriculture waste as alternative to fossil fuels and petrochemicals, mitigating environmental impact and supporting sustainable resource management. आणि एकूणच भारत पाक संदर्भात परराष्ट्र सचिव विक्रम मिस्त्री कर्नल सुप्रिया कुरेशी आणि विंग कमांडर योगिता सिंग हे या पत्रकार परिषदेला संबोधित करतील. या आधी सुद्धा ऑपरेशन सिंदूर नंतर now this slide, what we see in this slide, we see that the 12 principles of green chemistry, how these 12 principles of green chemistry is linked or coordinated with the goals of the sustainable development, with some of the goals of the sustainable development. So this slide will show you, yes, green chemistry, we can incorporate the green chemistry for achievement of the sustainable development. We can achieve the sustainable development by integrating the principles of the green chemistry. That means the green chemistry proves, or it is one of the playing important role for improving the sustainable, for achieving the sustainable development goals. Just you can observe it. Now, what is our role? How can we practice the sustainability? Like at the physical level, that means at the physical level means what? At our level, what you can do, what I can do, what we all can do. What you can do, what I can do, what we all can do to promote the sustainability of life, to promote the sustainability of environment. At physical level, just see, using greener and safer macro materials and energy sources in daily life activities and adapting to environment friendly usable product and energy resources, such as replace the polythene bags with biodegradable packing materials. So instead of using whatever the plastic bags that you are using, because you know that plastic bags are not degradable, they persist in the environment for a very long period of time. And if they persist in the environment for a very long period of time, that is going to have the effect on the human health also and the environment also. So instead of that, what we can think on using the paper bag. We can think on using the bags that are made up of biomass material, bags that are made up of agriculture product. So replacing polythene with biodegradable packing materials, using renewable green energy sources instead of fossil fuels, shifting towards safer alternatives of daily use materials that are less to no toxic. Okay, next, that was at physical level. Now at chemical level, what we can do? So at chemical level, developing and replacing safer and green chemicals from traditional ones, be it in a laboratory or in a large scale pharmaceutical industries, using eco-friendly routes in the chemical synthesis. So whatever the like chemical process you are designing or you are performing in the lab also, in the pharmaceutical industry also, we are performing different type of chemical synthesis or different type of chemical reactions. This should take place at a smaller level or at a now sustainability at chemical level, physical level. Again, let's see some of the example. Starting from our shoes, you know, the shoes that you are wearing, actually it is actually made up of many that you can see in the picture here, image. It is made up of cotton, polyester, polyurethane, PET, nylon, steel. There are part of steel also, brass also included in the manufacture of the shoes. Like thermoplastic rubber, vulcanized rubber, polyvinyl chloride, that is PVC. And these are what? These are all the polymers. These are all the polymers. And you know that for the synthesis of the polymers, there is one of the important chemical. These polymers are synthesized in the industries. So this polymers, for synthesis of these polymers, what is required? Required raw material. And for most of the polymer in the most of the polymer in the industry, benzene is the starting raw material. And I told you that benzene is what? Cancer causing. So if you are using the benzene in the synthesis of polymer, obviously the threat of life is there. So what we can do, instead of using such type of shoes, which is including many, which is manufactured by which is based on many polymer, what we can focus on the shoes made from biodegradable polymer. So most of today's are non biodegradable polymer based, that is nylon being most common one, replacement to which is a rubber. So we can use the shoes which is made from rubber. So replacement to which is rubber or fiber based shoes. Bamboo fiber can be used in shoes industries. Polymer of which is air vented porous. Air vented because it is porous in nature, making an advantage of comfortability. It will give the comfortable also over transitional traditional shoes or transitional shoes. Cutting cost also, less degradation time, thus better replacement to buy on. So इंस्टेड ऑफ यूजिंग ऐसे शूज जो पॉलीमर से बने होते हैं, ये शूज यूज करने से बजाय आप क्या यूज करो, जो शूज बायोडिग्रेडेबल मटेरियल से बने हैं, जैसे रबर से बने हैं, वो आपके लिए कंफर्टेबल भी है और वो आपके लिए सस्ते भी, मतलब वो काफी आपके लिए क्या होंगे, सस्ते होंगे, चीपर होंगे, बिकॉज जो पॉलीमर से बने होते हैं ना वो काफी महंगे होते हैं. तो आपका फायदा भी हो रहा है, और आपका फायदा वो तो अलग बात, आपका फायदा तो हो ही रहा है, साथ में सबसे बड़ी बात सस्टेनेबिलिटी, एनवायरमेंट के ऊपर हार्म नहीं हो रहा, बिकॉज ऐसे सारे शूज जो पॉलीमर से बने होते हैं वो पॉलीमर्स एनवायरमेंट में काफी लॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम के लिए वो एनवायरमेंट में परसिस्ट रहते हैं एंड दस एनवायरमेंट को हार्म करते हैं. और एनवायरमेंट हार्म करेंगे, एनवायरमेंट की सस्टेनेबिलिटी डिक्रीज होगी, हमारी सस्टेनेबिलिटी डिक्रीज होगी, which is one of the important concern, that is the one of the important concern of the 21st century era. I hope you are getting it. As I told you that biodegradable plastic, कुछ ऐसे प्लास्टिक्स है जो प्लास्टिक बायोडिग्रेडेबल प्लास्टिक, देखो यहाँ पे लिखा है आई एम नॉट प्लास्टिक. ऐसे कुछ प्लास्टिक से कुछ कंपनीज ने बनाया, जैसे नेचर वर्क मैन्युफैक्चर्स फूड कंटेनर फ्रॉम पॉलीलैक्टिक एसिड PLA नोन एज इंजियो. तो ऐसे कुछ प्लास्टिक बनाए. दे हैव इनोवेटेड अ प्रोसेस वेयर माइक्रो ऑर्गेनिज्म कन्वर्ट कॉर्न स्टार्च इनटू अ रेजिन मैचिंग द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ द ट्रेडिशनल पेट्रोलियम बेस्ड प्लास्टिक. पहले आपके जो ट्रेडिशनल प्लास्टिक बनते थे ना, वो ट्रेडिशनल प्लास्टिक बनाते समय आप क्या यूज करते थे पता है? आप यूज करते थे पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट. एंड जैसे मैंने बताया पेट्रोलियम प्रोडक्ट आर लिमिटेड, वो एक वक्त पे क्या हो जाएंगे, खत्म हो जाएंगे. सो नेचर वर्क्स ने एक ऐसा प्लास्टिक बनाया है जिसे आप इंजियो के नाम से जानते हो, वो कंप्लीटली बायोडिग्रेडेबल है. वो प्लास्टिक नेचर में आप यूज थ्रो भी कर दोगे ना, वो डिग्रेडेबल, मतलब डिग्रेडेशन हो जाएगा उसका. They are also moving towards sourcing raw material from agriculture waste. So agriculture waste से और ऐसे सारे बायोडिग्रेडेबल मटेरियल से प्लास्टिक बनाए जा रहे हैं आजकल. BASF कंपनी का नाम है, BASF is the name of the company. Okay. Created EcoFlex, a compostable polyester film used for fully biodegradable bags alongside cassava starch. Cassava starch is a biodegradable material, and calcium carbonate. These bags certified by the biodegradable product institute decompose into water, CO2 and biomass in the industrial composting system. So आप बायोडिग्रेडेबल प्लास्टिक की तरफ हमें मूव ऑन होना चाहिए. सस्टेनेबिलिटी एट केमिकल लेवल, केमिकल लेवल पे आप कैसे सस्टेनेबिलिटी अचीव कर सकते हैं? 3 easy ways. रन एक्सपेरिमेंट, व्हाटएवर डन एक्सपेरिमेंट ऑन द माइक्रो स्केल टू रिड्यूस वेस्ट. क्योंकि अगर बहुत सारे एट अ माइक्रो लेवल आप अगर एक्सपेरिमेंट्स को करोगे तो बहुत सारा वेस्टेज होता है केमिकल प्रोडक्ट्स का, केमिकल रिएक्टेंट्स का, सब केमिकल सब्सटेंसेस का। स्विच टू ग्रीन सॉल्वेंट। ग्रीन सॉल्वेंट जैसे कि वाटर, बहुत ट्राई करो कि बहुत सारे केमिकल प्रोसेस किसके अंदर हो जाए, वाटर के अंदर हो जाए, बिकॉज वाटर इतना हार्मफुल नहीं है। बट अगर आप बेंजीन जैसे, या बेंजीन जैसे अगर आप क्या यूज करोगे, सॉल्वेंट यूज करोगे और रिएक्टिंग मीडियम यूज करोगे, तो बेंजीन इज अ कार्सिनोजेनिक। बेंजीन क्या है? इट इज अ कार्सिनोजेनिक। सो स्विच टू ग्रीन सॉल्वेंट, use two like I have given you the example also. Neutralize basic phosphate buffered HPLC. HPLC is again an instrument. West or acidic hydrochloric acid west to pH 7. Pour down and pour down the drain. मतलब आपका जब भी सपोज आप बहुत सारे केमिकल प्रोडक्ट में ना क्या होता है, बहुत सारे एसिड जनरेट होता है, आप क्या करते हो, मतलब इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट क्या करते हैं, इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट उस एसिड को डायरेक्टली क्या करते हैं, वाटर बॉडीज में रिलीज कर देते हैं। अब पता है एसिड्स आर हार्मफुल, वो एसिड जो वाटर बॉडीज में रिलीज हो रहा है, दैट एसिड इज गोइंग टू अफेक्ट द एक्वाटिक लाइफ। और वो एक्वेटिक लाइफ के साथ साथ अगर वही वाटर को आप कंज्यूम करते हो, सपोज नदी जो वाटर बॉडीज में वो एसिड को रिलीज किया गया है, उसी वो गांव के लोग तो वही वाटर बॉडीज से अपना बहुत सारे पानी ड्रिंकिंग का सोर्स उसे ही मानते हैं, उनकी लाइफ भी क्या होगी, थ्रेट में आएगी, क्वालिटी उनकी जो हेल्थ है वो भी उनकी सपोज डेंजर में आएगी। सो बेस्ट वे क्या कर सकते हो, जो भी एसिडिक प्रोडक्ट है उसको आप न्यूट्रल करो। न्यूट्रल पता है ना क्या होता है, न्यूट्रल एसिड बेस एंड न्यूट्रल, आप उसको पीएच 7 पे लाओ, एंड पीएच 7 इज व्हाट, न्यूट्रल। और न्यूट्रल यानी कि वाटर जैसे, उसका कोई हार्मफुल इफेक्ट आपके ऊपर, एक्वेटिक बॉडीज के ऊपर हार्मफुल इफेक्ट नहीं होगा, एंड दस एक्वेटिक लाइफ भी क्या होगी, सस्टेन करेगी। ओके, सो व्हाट इज कंक्लूजन फॉर टुडे सेशन? Green chemistry is a new way of looking at the chemicals and their manufacturing process to minimize any negative environment effect. Right now, the green chemistry revolution is beginning, and it is an exciting time with new challenges for chemists involved with the discovery, manufacture, and use of chemicals. In summary, green chemistry is scientifically sound, cost effective, and leads towards a sustainable civilization. So अगर आप ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री के प्रिंसिपल्स के थ्रू अगर आप ग्रीन केमिस्ट्री को प्रैक्टिस में लाओगे, डेफिनेटली हमारी लाइफ की सस्टेनेबिलिटी भी इंक्रीज होगी और हमारी एनवायरमेंट की सस्टेनेबिलिटी भी इंक्रीज होगी। दैट मीन्स by adapting the green chemistry or by adapting the principles of green chemistry in design of chemical process, we can increase the sustainability of life and we can increase the sustainability of environment also. Okay, so thank you. Go green and promote the sustainability of life also and promote the sustainability of environment also. Thank you once again. Okay. मुझे भी लेक्चर से टाइम कंटिन्यूसली आपका कोई ना कोई लेक्चर में लगे रहते हैं, ASBI वगैरह।